There is a season of life that almost nobody talks about. A season where nothing seems to happen. No applause, no recognition, no visible progress, no signs that your efforts are making a difference. And because of that, many people assume they are failing. But what if some of the most important transformations in your life were never meant to be seen? We live in a world obsessed with visibility. Every day we are surrounded by numbers, followers, views, likes, achievements, rankings, and public milestones. The message is subtle, but constant. If nobody notices your progress, perhaps your progress does not matter. Yet deep down, most of us know that isn't true. The most meaningful changes in a human life rarely happen in front of an audience. Nobody sees the moment you decide to stop believing a lie about yourself. Nobody sees the evening you choose growth over distraction. Nobody sees the battle fought inside your mind when you refuse to surrender to fear. Nobody sees the quiet decision to begin again after disappointment. And yet these moments shape the course of an entire life. We live in a world obsessed with visibility. But the most meaningful changes in a human life rarely happen in front of an audience. Nobody sees the battle fought inside your mind. Nobody sees the moment you choose growth over comfort. Nobody sees the decision to begin again. Yet, those invisible moments often change everything. Psychologists often speak about a phenomenon called delayed gratification, the ability to continue investing effort long before receiving any visible reward. It sounds simple, but it runs against many of our natural instincts. Human beings crave feedback. We want evidence that our actions matter. We want reassurance that our sacrifices are producing results. That desire is understandable, but modern life has amplified it. Today, almost everything provides immediate feedback. A notification, a comment, a view count, a reaction. We have become accustomed to seeing results instantly, and because of that, many people begin to distrust slow growth. If the results are not immediate, they assume nothing is happening. But nature tells a different story. A tree does not begin by growing branches. It begins by growing roots. For a long time, nothing appears above the surface. If you judged its progress only by what you could see, you might assume nothing is happening at all. But beneath the ground, an invisible foundation is being built. And without that foundation, the tree could never survive the storms that will eventually come. Human growth works much the same way. A tree does not begin by growing branches. It begins by growing roots. For a long time, nothing appears above the surface. Yet beneath the ground, the foundation is being built. Human growth often works the same way. The seasons that look empty are sometimes the seasons building the strength you will need later. Many people abandon their journey because they misunderstand the quiet seasons. They mistake silence for failure. They mistake slow progress for no progress. They mistake uncertainty for being lost. But some of the most important chapters of your life are written in silence. The confidence you are building, the wisdom you are gaining, the discipline you are developing, the self-respect you are earning, the person you are becoming. Much of it grows beyond the reach of public recognition. Philosophers throughout history understood this truth, not because they rejected achievement, but because they recognized that character is formed long before success becomes visible. The world celebrates the visible moment, the promotion, the accomplishment, the victory. But it rarely sees the years that made those moments possible, the countless ordinary days, the repeated choices, the invisible struggles, the private battles, the quiet perseverance. And perhaps that is why so many people underestimate themselves. They only measure what can be seen. They forget to measure what is being built within. Some of the most important chapters of your life are written in silence. The world measures visible results. But transformation often happens where nobody is looking. Never underestimate what is being built inside you during the seasons that seem quiet. If you are in one of those seasons right now, if life feels slow, if your efforts seem unnoticed, if your progress feels invisible, do not be too quick to judge your journey. The absence of applause does not mean the absence of growth. The absence of recognition does not mean the absence of transformation. The absence of visible results does not mean the absence of purpose. Perhaps the roots are still growing. Perhaps the foundation is still being built. Perhaps the person you are becoming requires this season, because life is not only preparing you for what you will do, it is preparing you for who you will become, and that may be the most important work of all. One day, the branches will appear. One day, the growth will become visible. One day, people may see the strength, wisdom, confidence, and peace that were forged during these quiet years. But even if they never do, the transformation will still be real. So trust the process. Trust the quiet seasons. Trust the growth that cannot yet be seen. Because some of the most beautiful transformations in life begin in darkness, grow in silence, and reveal themselves only when the time is right. And perhaps that is the hope hidden inside every season of waiting. Nothing may seem to be happening, but beneath the surface, everything may already be changing.